If you're trying to get approved for a Chase Ink card or multiple Chase Ink cards, I'm gonna give you some tips today that are gonna help you make an auto approval more likely. And the very first tip I'm gonna give you straight off, which is you need to be paying attention really closely to your total credit limit that Chase has extended to you. So to do that, you're gonna wanna add up all of the cards you have from Chase. And if you're newer to travel hacking, you might not have that many, but if you're like me, you might have 10. So I go through and I add up the credit limit of every single card I have from Chase, personal cards and business cards. And if that number, my total credit limit, is approaching 50% of my annual income, then I know that an auto approval is gonna be a lot less likely. So if my annual income was $100,000 and Chase, over all of my cards with them, has extended me $50,000 of credit already, it is pretty unlikely, though possible, that they would give me a new ink card with an additional credit limit. To me, auto approval is key because I don't really want Chase's bankers to be looking too closely at my accounts, right? Because I have at least 10 credit card accounts with them. So what do I do if my credit limit is getting closer to 50%? I proactively lower some of the credit limits on my accounts. If possible, you always want to start with lowering a business account first because that's going to have a lower impact to your overall credit score. If you have a really strong credit score and you have had a lot of credit extended to you that's showing up on your credit report that you're not using, lowering your credit limit on a personal credit card by $5,000 or $10,000 isn't going to make that much of a difference to your score. But if you only have a few personal credit cards, you're going to want to watch out with this tip because if you only have one personal credit card and you lower that limit in order to be able to get a business card, that could potentially hurt your score. I'll put some more tips specific to that situation and some more links down in the description. If you're trying to get more than one Chase Ink card, even of the same version, so let's say you already have a Chase Ink Unlimited and you want to get another one, you can, but it's important to pay attention to the velocity with which you're applying. I don't recommend applying every 30 days for a Chase card. Chase will cut you off. The best practice, if you want to be the most conservative, would be to wait 90 days between card applications. I personally don't think this is necessary to do every time, but it can help. That's also what's going to give your credit score the longest to recover from that hit from the hard inquiry. You can see that a lot of people will get approved between 30 and 60 days as well. But if you get a card and then you get another one in 30 days, I'd recommend waiting, at least 90 days before you do it again. You also are going to have to make sure that you qualify under the Chase 524 rule. That's a little bit more nuanced, and I will put links to that in the description in case you need to review what that rule is so I don't waste time in this video explaining that one again. Now, there are plenty of reports out there and data points showing people getting approved for the exact same Chase Ink card for the exact same business over and over again. Personally, I don't recommend this strategy because I think it can leave you vulnerable to Chase shutdown or other problems with your relationship with Chase in the future. Instead, what I would recommend is get the same card, but get it for two different businesses. To make it clear that they're two different businesses, when it asks for business name, you can just name it something else. So for instance, for my businesses, if I wasn't doing it for my official Katie's Travel Tricks business, let's say I was doing one for selling things on Facebook Marketplace and one for running an Airbnb out of my home. So the first one for business name, I might put Katie Facebook Marketplace. And the second one for the business name, I could put my full name or I could put Holden Airbnb or something like that. That business name being different is one of the first signals to Chase that you're opening it for a different business. You can also open a free EIN number for any business that you have, even if it isn't generating any income or only $50 or $100 a year. That's free to get on the IRS website, and there's no tax implications just for signing up for a free EIN. So you could open one business card from Chase, a Chase Ink Unlimited, with your social security number as a sole proprietor, and you can open a different one with an EIN that you just signed up for on the IRS's website. If your credit score is under 700, it's going to be a little bit harder to be approved, but it's definitely still possible. There's plenty of data points showing that it's possible. You can also increase your chance of approval by having a Chase business checking account with them. Having that existing relationship can really be helpful in getting approved for cards and then getting those bonuses that we want. If you don't get auto approved, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay, and you're going to call the reconsideration line. It's not as scary as it sounds, but this is one of the reasons that I recommend always putting real data on your Chase business application. If you have a Facebook Marketplace business that you're selling $100 of toys per year, that's a lot easier to talk through with the agent if you put real numbers on that application. The agent is not there to bust you. They're just doing their best to do their due diligence and make sure you qualify. Again, in the description, I have a script that you can use on the reconsideration call in case you have no idea what to say. One of the most powerful ways to use ink cards is referring each other back and forth with a partner or a spouse or a friend, because as of right now, so it's June 2023, you get 40,000 points for referring a friend or a partner to another Chase ink card, and they can get any of the ink cards with that. Plus, they'll get their own bonus. So going back and forth between partners is a great way to rack up a ton of ultimate rewards points. I do not recommend referring yourself or referring another business where you're applying with your social security number, because again, I consider that risky and a more likely factor that would lead to Chase shutting down your account, and you really don't want that. If you don't have a referral link to use, my affiliate links are below, and I appreciate so much when you use them because that's what allows me to keep creating free content and resources to help you travel more with less money. These cards are some of my favorite business cards because they have no annual fee and the points have so many uses, assuming that you're combining the no annual fee ink cards like the Ink Cash or the Ink Unlimited with a card like the Sapphire Preferred. It's really by combining them that's what allows you to use your points not just for cash back, which is what the bonuses on those cards is officially listed as, but you'll be able to use them also to book in Chase's Chase Travel Portal, or even better, to transfer them to some transfer partners like Hyatt or United or Southwest, where you can get even more value from your points. If you're nervous about filling out a business application for the first time, here's a step-by-step tutorial that you can follow specific to the Chase Ink business cards, and happy travels!